And it's that time now to review the Sunday papers. With me today is broadcaster and writer Gemma Forte and the entrepreneur Kate Hardcastle. Good to see you both again. Kate, to you first. You've pulled out this story in the Mirror about Flybe. It's collapsed once again, the second time in 3 years. We are struggling to hear you, Kate. We'll come back to you in a second. Gemma, let's go to you while we're waiting to sort out our communication with Kate. This story in The Observer, this, scrutiny and speculation over Nadhim Zahawi's tax affairs rumbles on, doesn't it? What's The Observer saying today?
Well, The Observer is putting its focus and the lens on Sunak here because originally he denied really knowing anything about it, but now it's come to light that at the time when he did appoint Nadhim Zahawi as chairman, he was warned about reputational damage given Zahawi's, let's say, dubious tax affairs. Careless is what he said, not deliberate apparently. But also it's quite interesting that Zahawi's tax affairs, this 27 million that he forgot to pay tax on, that actually comes from his shareholding in YouGov as well, the polling company. So is that a conflict of interest? That's not something that's being talked about that much. But really at the heart of this story is Sunak's leadership. Does it make him weak? Why did he appoint him? Why did he not think that this was an important thing to be looking into? And does it just show what a lack of talent he had to choose from?
Yeah, Kate, we've got you back now, I think. We couldn't hear you before. Great to have you with us. Let's just speak about that story in the Mirror that you pulled out about Flybe's collapse, the second time in 3 years. Tell us more about this.
I was just saying, aviation is a very risky business. High costs, lots of fuel, big engines, big costs. And I think that's been really the downfall. Flybe were awaiting these new vessels to come in to be able to meet demand, huge demand that surged into the travel industry post-COVID. And unfortunately, due to delays there, they're no longer in a position where they can meet those 75,000 bookings that they had. An incredibly sad day, of course, for travel and the people working for the organisation. But this just shows the clarity and reality of it, that behind the scenes, it's very much about trying to make sure that the flight paths and the demands met by a huge amount of spend. So I do feel for everyone involved, but I still see that the travel demand rages on. We are still keen to get back out there.
Yeah, quite right. And this story in The Telegraph that you've pulled out, Gemma, is also another big talking point at the moment after Scotland passed their gender recognition reform bill. Another trans inmate causing a lot of controversy north of the border. Tell us more about this.
Well, yeah, so this is the second time that a trans woman has been placed in a women's prison, and then it's come to light that they're either attacking prisoners and that they've got form for attacking women. So this is always such a hot potato, this issue. And there's many people who feel very timid around the subject, and it's become fueled and stained with a lot of toxicity within the debate. And personally, I am a complete supporter of trans rights in terms of they are a marginalised part of society. However, surely it is common sense. What on earth are they thinking, putting anybody who's been violent to women or raped a woman in a prison with other women? That is just common sense. The thing about going to prison is you lose rights. So anybody, including a trans person, if they've been violent, they lose their rights.
Yeah, certainly it is a big topic of debate that I'm sure we'll hear a lot more about, Gemma. Kate, you pulled out this story in The Telegraph about Mike Ashley's Frasers Group lending cash to shoppers. What's this all about?
So the group is now run by the CEO, Michael Murray, and the organisation's going through some changes. This is a brand that has, this is an organisation that has brands including Sports Direct, Flannels, Evans Cycles, etc. And they're looking into the zeitgeist of where we as shoppers are looking to spend our money. A lot of younger shoppers are using buy now, pay later as a way to afford the things they want right here, right now, rather than perhaps saving up and waiting. And I think that's the culture. It's been the case. We've seen huge growth growth in that arena. What the organisation is saying is that they would go for FCA regulations, so that they would, of course, abide by all the financial regulations that are required. I think retailers and business will always do what's done to ensure that they are engaging with the shopper for the here and now. What we need to look perhaps into when it comes to the rise of buy now, pay later is a financial education in schools in an earlier way, in a more interactive and engaging way that allows young people to understand and feel they have control of their finances, and they then can make the decisions suitable for them. And that's something I'd campaign to the end of time for.
Yeah, certainly the culture of credit is potentially a slippery slope for a lot of young people, or for anyone. Gemma, I think it was you that pulled out this story in the Mail. Was it about skin cancer warning over those nail bar lamps? Tell us more about that.
Yeah, I think we both looked at it. Essentially, if you go to a nail bar and have a shellac or another nail treatment, you put your hands under these little lights, these little UV lamps to set the treatment. I've actually got a shellac on at the moment.
Nice colour.
And now there's a few question marks, thank you, question marks about the safety and about whether actually exposing your hands to that kind of light could possibly lead to cancer, God forbid. So it's going to take 10 years apparently to know. So that'll certainly make people like me have a little think about what nail treatments I bother with, because nice nails isn't worth taking a health risk for, personally.
I do just want to add very quickly there, the beauty and health industry, some of the safest, most brilliant practitioners in there, and this is a study that does need to be done over time. So whilst it's always important to warn consumers, I think we do have an industry that looks into the very best for their consumers' health.
Yeah, good point that you've made there, Kate. And in light of this article, certainly this is just very much preliminary research. Is there anything to be worried about?
What they're saying is they really were doing the test over an intensive usage period, using it on the UV light far too long for too many days in succession.
Right.
You wouldn't use it in that way. And if you had a practitioner advising you, they'd be telling you that wasn't the right way to use it. It's important we do the test, important we get the research, but at the same time, the industry needs to do the right thing.
Kate, Gemma, great to see you both. Thanks very much indeed for joining us this morning. And we will have more on all of the day's news at the top of the hour here on Sky News Breakfast. Stay with us.